Hi everybody, it's Nick. Back on the score, so I thought I'd grab 5 minutes. So 3 things I wanted to talk about today. First of all, I wanted to say just what an amazing, massive thank you. I'm not sure I've got enough words to express my gratitude for the really quite beautiful and kind and wonderful support that people have given to me following my vlog on my depression and my decision to take antidepressants to give me a hand to get through the storm. Really, it's been a really, really inspiring experience, and it just goes to show how important it is to reach out for help, and I'm so very, very pleased I did, and just how compassionate and gorgeous people are. Thank you. The second thing I wanted to talk about is an observation I've made about the menopause and depression, and this is just my humble opinion really. Trying to use what I'm going through. If I'm going to go through stuff like this, I want to try and learn from it, and I want to try and use it to help others too. I don't want it to be for nothing. So that's kind of always what's at the back of my head while I'm going through this stuff. And one of the observations I've made is that, and I think there is some research out there on this, I just obviously can't remember where or by who, is that when you go into the menopause phase, for some people, not for everybody, for some women, it's a little bit like, for me it feels like I've had a dormant volcano inside of me. So there have been some traumas and wounds over the years that weren't really dealt with, and they've been left to fester. And going into the menopause has been like the foundations. Something's happened. The menopause has done something, and I'm not quite sure of the science and the links with it, but it's done something, and it's made that volcano erupt. And it has just blown wide open lots of doors and things that I thought were shut, and that I've been really amazed by how they've affected me. And I think the phase that I can see, I often make a joke to my GP, that I'm consciously mad. I can see what's happening, but it doesn't stop it happening. Is as this volcano's exploded, it's just that there is so many different things shouting for my attention that I number one, I can't hear them clearly, and number two, I can't take a breath to decide which one to deal with. Physically my body's shouting things at me, my energy level's shouting things at me, my moods are shouting things at me, my wounds and my psychological and mental aspects are shouting things at me, my resilience and coping mechanisms are shouting things at me. There's just so much going on. It's just so busy, and there's something that happens, I think, and there's a link, I think, between the menopause and perhaps traumas and things that haven't been dealt with, and somehow for me it's managed to blow a lot of it wide open. And I think I was getting to the point where I just couldn't process it. It's like, when you walk into a room and it's just so messy, and you just think, oh God, I can't face it, you just shut the door and you walk back out. Whereas, if you chunk it down into sizable steps, and today is the first day, and I think it's a combination of 3 things. 1, actually speaking out and saying something. 2, reaching out and taking some support from my doctor. And thirdly, all of the beautiful support that's been offered to me, including some wonderful support around therapy, which I am going to take, because I know there's some stuff in my subconscious, and actually I can't quite reach it, and I can't quite articulate it myself. So I think I need somebody to hold my hand and help me navigate my way through that. I can, even today, I would say that it even seems lighter. When I look outside, it even seems lighter. I'm starting to be able to see a calmer sea, and I'm starting to be able to logically, my cognitive, cogs are starting to go and say, I can deal with A. Let's just take A and have a look at A. Let's see how that looks and feels. So, massive thank you to everybody. I am going to embark upon some therapy to really get to the bottom of things. I do think there is something that needs to be investigated further, not just on the physical symptoms of menopause, but also how the menopause affects our mental state, prior traumas and wounds and stuff that we may have been carrying for a long time. And my final point, and I think this is perhaps the most important one, is we've got things a bit arse about face as a fundamental thing about life that we've just got wrong, in my humble opinion again. And that is, the power is actually in our truth. It is not in presenting the best version of ourselves. It is not in presenting selected, filtered, airbrushed parts of ourselves and being too embarrassed to talk about the stuff that, makes you feel, oh God, kind of thing. I'd just be so embarrassed if somebody knew about that or whatever. It is not easy. It is absolutely not easy doing some of the vlogs that I do. But the thing that has occurred to me is that I'm incredibly blessed. I am surrounded by so much love and so much support, and I'm not judged. I'm not surrounded by family and friends that judge me. I'm unconditionally accepted, and I am very, very blessed, which means I am in a very unique position in a lot of ways, because I know a lot of people don't have that. They don't have that luxury, and I find that really sad, and I want to be able to change that. But it also means that I am in a position where I can speak out well, I can tell my truth. And the reason that it's so important to tell that truth is because that's what makes us human. That's what makes our connection. That's what helps us all be able to look at ourselves and to face our truth and to accept our truth. And we know, I think when you start to accept your truth, because you can actually start to talk about it. And that's when I talk about showing up and owning up. Now, no, of course not everybody has to go and share everything on social media like I do. I mean, I'm doing this for I'm always doing this, for a very, very clear reason, and that is to share my story to help others to be able to own theirs. And you don't have to show up on social media for that to happen. It might just be having a conversation with a friend. It might just be having a conversation with a stranger. I don't know. It might just be having a conversation with yourself. But it is very much about being accepting and embracing of all of you, and not feeling that you have to airbrush or filter certain parts of you. And the power is in our truth, and is in being able to stand up and share our truth. And what I have genuinely found is, even my most intimate and my raw blogs, this one on mental health was very, very intimate and very much in the moment. And I think one of my other ones that was up there was when I did it with my dad about grief, very, very raw, is that if you can find a way to share that, it is such a beautiful experience to experience the love and compassion of your fellow human beings, and the way that they respond back to you, which is really what's at the heart of us all. So that was my third point, and I hope that's of help. And I am getting there. It's going to be a process. It's going to take time. It's a process I'm determined to go through. It's a process I'm determined to crack this. I'm determined to come out the other end of whatever it is. Sending everybody lots and lots of love, and thank you so much for your support. Thank you.